Hey, this is John Frankman. I'm here with Vets Talkin Podcast. I have Jon Willis here with Parler. So thanks so much for coming, John.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. So kind of tell me what are you about, what's Parler about, and what's kind of new, what's happening?
Well, you know, Parler is a well-known brand that went away for a bit. Back in 2020, big tech decided to illegally collude with each other and shut down Parler after January 6th. Actually, it was in 2021. And you had 20 million people that were silenced immediately. And you had a company that went from $1 billion valuation to zero immediately. And they were never really able to come back. I mean, you know, the original owners, they tried and weren't really successful. Then they sold it to George Farmer, Candace Owens' husband. They didn't really do much with it. He ended up selling it to a marketing agency, and then we ended up buying it from them. And we actually are a tech company.
Yeah.
So what we did, we bought it a year ago this week, and we've been in stealth mode ever since. I mean, you're a Green Beret, you understand stealth.
Sure.
So, you know, you don't want to give away your secrets, you don't want to give away your position of what you're doing. And so we sent out a couple press releases last December. Media picked up on it. It was all January 6th stuff, you know, typical knee-jerk reaction. And then that was it. We went real quiet.
Yeah.
We quietly got Parler back in the app stores last spring. No marketing, no pushing it. We were just getting it out there. But then we were like, you know, Parler's entering back into a crowded field, even though it was the original free speech platform. You now have X leading the charge of free speech with Elon Musk, but you also have on the other side Threads and now Blue Sky and True Social. And so we knew Parler was going to be in a crowded field in the microblogging social media sphere. So we decided to launch our own YouTube TikTok competitor called Play TV, which is now available in the app stores as well as online. And it does long form and short form videos. And what's unique about what we have compared to all the other alternative platforms, even to some of the mainstream platforms, is we actually own our own cloud. And so when you own your own cloud, you can pretty much do whatever you want. It's like a really strong foundation of a building. You can build whatever you want as long as that foundation is strong enough. And because we have our own cloud, it allows us to be fully autonomous and not reliant on big tech in any way. So we don't have any ties to AWS or Azure or any of those other cloud providers. So because we did that, we were like, hey, this is our model to bring Gen Z and Gen Alpha. Those are those same punks that say, hey, you were born in the late 1900s. It really ticks me off. But you know, to give them a platform where they can still upload the reels and all that stuff. But we wanted to introduce something that has never been done in social media, is we decided to integrate into the blockchain.
Oh, interesting.
And so everything that we do now is tied with the blockchain and with blockchain rewards.
Okay.
And so we launched a blockchain project called Optio, where our users are now no longer the product of social media, meaning that when I join Facebook or Instagram, I'm accepting the fact that they're going to be selling all my data. You know, $900 per day per person, you know, billions and billions of dollars. And me as the user, I'm not going to get anything out of it. Well, we're flipping that model with what we're doing with our rewards program. Is now the users are going to be the beneficiaries of everything that we do. And so our bottom line isn't necessarily on our spreadsheet or our balance sheet, even though, of course, we're still a business. But now the users will earn rewards as they like, share, comment, post, even the type of content that they're posting. So if they're posting good, wholesome, positive type content, they earn more rewards than if they post negative, trolling type of content. And so at the end of the day, you know, they will go onto their Parler Pay wallet, which is like Venmo. They'll see their daily rewards, and then they can redeem those rewards in the Parler shop, which is a conglomeration of multiple vendors. Soon we're shooting for 1 million vendors by the end of next year.
That's awesome.
Where you can go in, spend your rewards, and buy shirts, groceries, products, whatever it is, without having to worry about coming out of fully out of pocket for this stuff.
That's amazing. So it sounds like a lot of things going for Parler. You have the short form reels. You're kind of competing with the TikTok, the Instagram. You're not selling data, which is a huge thing.
Yep.
So for folks who aren't as familiar with how the blockchain technology works, could you kind of describe that kind of in a simple form?
So a blockchain is just really a digital ledger, okay? So, a block of data is written and then it's spread over multiple computers, okay? So your data is encrypted in a way where it's completely safe. Think about it, instead of just having all your data on one server, it's now spread on every single cell phone that has the Parler app,
right,
as well as across all multiple, thousands or millions of computers all around the world. And so in order to delete that database, you'd literally have to attack every single node on that blockchain all at once,
right,
which is impossible.
Right. I mean, just similar with Bitcoin, and one reason why that's going to be
100%, yeah,
pretty steady, safe thing.
We actually built off the blockchain model.
Yeah.
So everything that we're doing is exactly what blockchain is built. There's no one single owner of Bitcoin. So if you go to Bitcoin, like, who controls Bitcoin? Well, the community does.
Right.
Who controls Optio, which was what we launched? Well, the community does, not Parler. So everything that we do is community based, because the community is the one who benefits, not BlackRock or State Street or any of these big hedge funds.
And now you said kind of early on that you have your own cloud. Now, for someone who's not familiar, what does that help you to do, having your own cloud, and versus the other social media companies that might be putting their data out there?
So in the tech world, one of the most cost prohibitive things to scale your company is data storage. And not only just data storage, but hosting and everything. And so you're reliant on AWS and Azure, who will charge you a lot of money for their services. And companies, especially startups, are really having a problem to scale because the cost of what they need to pay on the hosting side, as well as on the scalability, it's just not feasible.
Right.
And so when you have, and also you're on the public side where you're reliant on a third party to maintain your data. Now, if you remember, when Parler was shut down, what did AWS or Amazon do to Parler? They deleted their database.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
No, where was I going else with that? So for someone, let's say they have Twitter, they have Instagram, they have a lot of followers there, what would you kind of tell them as far as why they should switch over to Parler or incorporate Parler in their...
If you care about your privacy, if you care about not being censored, if you care about providing for your family or basically providing a way for you to create an alternative economy, you're going to come to us. And we're not out there saying we're the alternative to this platform or that platform. We're the alternative to big tech.
Yeah.
Because what we have built on the fintech side, on the cloud side, on the social media side, is all 100% complete opposite of what big tech provides.
No, that's awesome. And we're a veterans podcast and things like that. I think that veterans can appreciate, some people, there's that meme of, we don't trust the government. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. We've been around it. Any kind of message you'd have for veterans who are considering using it, or any features you might have that they could benefit from?
Well, we as Parler, we're American-based, Texas-based, so it doesn't get more American than Texas. Maybe
I'd say Florida. I don't know. I'm in Florida right now. Just ran there, but yeah.
There you go. But for us, everything that we do is based in America, but we are a global platform. And for us, if you want to post photos or videos of you shooting, you out there, plinking cans or doing whatever you do, you're not going to get censored for it. If you are posting patriotic stuff, you're not going to be shadow banned because of it. Because we are all about free speech and freedom of information. We don't want to be the dictators of what's considered truth and what isn't. We actually believe that people can make decisions for their own selves.
Yeah, and are you facing any opposition? Obviously in the United States right now, we got Trump coming in, which is extremely exciting, very grateful for that. You shouldn't have any free speech or the app inhibited now. How about across the world globally? Has Parler been picked up in other countries?
Yeah, we're in 176 countries right now. And after this past month, it's been a completely different landscape for us, because before the election, we were literally preparing for a Kamala Harris administration.
Right.
We weren't meaning we were hoping for it, but we were preparing for it just because of everything that happened back in 2020. Of course you got to plan for the worst, hope for the best. And with that plan, we were planning on, do we have to move our operations out of the U.S. because of how totalitarian the country was moving with Democrat control? Now, don't get me wrong. Parler's a platform for everybody. We want Democrats on there. We want Republicans. We want everybody on there.
Right.
It's for everybody.
Yeah.
But what we saw from an ideology standpoint was something that is the complete total opposite of what we stand for.
Exactly.
And so for us, we were planning on, planning for the worst, and luckily now with Trump in, we're seeing things completely change.
Oh yeah.
The fact that Zuckerberg goes to Mar-a-Lago to bend the knee, and is now throwing money. Jeff Bezos is throwing money at the inauguration. They know. They know they're caught, and they're just hoping that Cash and whomever else is going to, or Pam Bondi. They're going to take it easy on.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if it's part of that, and I wonder also because Zuckerberg, I think he has a bunch of operators who are like doing security for him. So I think they might have toughened him up, just kind of hanging out, doing some BJJ. I think you do some combat sports, and maybe that.
When you're working on the jits, man, there's only you're a little vulnerable when you have them in an arm bar. So
no, absolutely. Anything else we should know about Parler?
No, just download it. It's on iOS and the apps, iOS and Android. You can go to parler.com to learn more about what we're doing. To learn more about Optio, go to optio.community and check us out. You'll love it.
Well, John, thanks so much for coming on the Vets Talking podcast. It was a pleasure talking to you,
Thanks, sir.
Hope for the greatest success for Parler.
Rock and roll. Thank you.
All right.